Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today, going to be a Patreon cast between Reynor and Clem. Top left of Berlingrad, it's going to be Reynor. And on the bottom right, it is Clem. These two players are the same age. They've been playing each other for a couple of years now. Well, maybe several years now, so they know each other very, very well. Clem is the top player in the European region and competes with Korean players, and Reynor is a former world champion. So, Clem's going to give Reynor everything he can handle, but I kind of feel like Reynor has the upper hand here. So again, this is going to be a Patreon game posted at patreon.com/FalconPaladin for those of you who support me for at least $1 a month. And we've got a 17 pool here from Reynor. Respecting Clem's proxy game? Or are we planning on being aggressive with lings or maybe some roaches? We will have to see. Again, thank you for supporting me at patreon.com/FalconPaladin if you are. If you're watching this the week of April the 22nd, then you are. If you're watching this in May on the YouTube channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. I'm here 5 times a week with StarCraft 2 content. So pool first play, not a 12 pool from Reynor, a little bit later. And a Reaper expand timing here from Clem. SCV checking to make sure it's not a 12 pool. And 400 minerals, ka-chow, says Clem. The expansion has started. Alright, so SCV cruising across here, and actually, wow. Gonna mine through here, just takes a second, not too late, and sees lings are already out and says, "Wah! This is why you do this, Terran players. If you don't do this, you don't see the lings coming and your Reaper goes across the map, then suddenly you're in a lot of trouble, because if the Reaper is harassing on this side and the lings are up here on top of your SCV building this command center, you're a very sad panda, is what you are." So Reaper's name's gonna be Jealousy. Mr. Mengs heard a Reaper name so good, he was immediately struck with unbearable jealousy, so decided to get the creative juices for Reaper names flowing by writing a bad meta name. I mean, go to the front lines at a Reaper suit himself. So that's a Joseph Atwell Reaper name. I don't know which one he's talking about. Joseph, if you're here, let me know which one you were jealous of, because there have been some really good Reaper names over the course of the channel. I can tell you that much. So yeah, this is Jealousy, which reminds me of the song, "Hey Jealousy, hey, Jealousy." It's a good one. Alright, so hopping around in control of Clem. I mean, like Clem, Maru, Innovation, Time, like the elite Terran players like that. Losing the Reaper here is not very likely at all. Just takes good control, is what it does. Anyway, anything crazy here? Nah, that's a reactor. This is a factory. 1 Hellion out. We're going to make some more Hellions and getting a starport up here too. So no quick third here from Clem. Reaper, I don't even, like, why? I don't know, like, are we just attacking this because we can? I guess. I mean, it's a little bit weaker if a future attack shows up, but really not much appreciably, and they regenerate health over time anyway, so I don't know. We don't see that a lot. Weird play from Clem, that's fine. Third CC timing, if he's going for macro style here, third CC should start right about now. If he's going for a 2-base push, we're obviously not going to see that, because that's what 2 bases means, is attacking on 2 bases, and he has 2 now, so yeah, so Reynor didn't, no Roach Warren, no second gas, no lair. He just went for the 17 pool and maybe was planning on harassing with lings a little bit, but the SCV scout shut that down all right. So, whatever. Creep spread, pushing, stim is on the way. Creep spread inside the main base, which you should definitely do, Zerg players. If you see a drop unloading, that's better than all of a sudden 12 Marines are here, right? So you want to have that early warning system. Creep spread inside your base is nice. I know you'd rather creep spread out here. I would too if I had the choice. I'd much rather have creep spread all over the place out here like Reynor is doing. And I don't know, you have to lose an inject if you put a creep tumor down here with your main queen, so annoying stuff. Bathing Nest is on the way from the Zerg player. lair. Now he's got a lair on the production tab too. Tank in production. I'm waiting for that third CC timing. Ah, there it is. Okay, so it's just a little bit later. He's going to push with some Hellions and the Reaper and whatnot. And again, shouldn't lose any of these Hellions, right? That's the whole point. Ling's cruising around. This is probably your 4th base location for Reynor here at about 5 minutes. 4:35, 6-ish. It's where your 4th base could be depending on what your opponent is up to and how aggressive they're being with their harassment if you're a Zerg player. So 3rd base from Clem at 5:30, which is later than we often see from Terran players in this matchup. Ooh, nice transfuse. God, that's beautiful. Transfuse keeps that Overlord alive. 4th base from Reynor coming up. Lair's done. Wait. Lair's done. Double Evo chamber, centrifugal hooks coming in. He's not taking his gases. He's got 2 gases, but usually around this stage when the lair's starting, I like to go for extra ones here. So Reynor being a little bit more cautious. Clem too. Both players, neither of them are macroing their faces off right now. So that's good. That's good to see. That they're both reading each other properly. Clem's not macroing his face off because Reynor's not macroing his face off. And if you try to macro your face off against someone who's being a little bit heavier on the army stuff, you're going to die. So Reynor just being very circumspect here, being very careful, making sure he has an adequate queen count, making sure he's got a bunch of lings, the ability to make speed banes if he needs them. And Clem's pushing out with some medevacs now. So this is a concerted attack. This is not harassment anymore. This is, we're going to try to kill some stuff. Like kill some queens. There we go. Queens off creep are very vulnerable to those tumors not dying. Ooh, get that one too. Got that one too. Okay, so we got him. He took care of it. Clem knows how important it is to kill creep. He's fine. Good positioning here too. Zerg doesn't want to push out that far into a little choke, so beautiful stuff. And we're going to go for them lurkers. Reynor is. It's probably not Hydra Lingbane. It's probably going to be lurker. Lurker Lingbane with Hydra support, or maybe some Corruptors in there too. Gotta have something that can shoot up. In general. Creep spread, pushing along. Creep spread, killing 2 Hellbats. Take bonus damage from Banelings. Yeah, they look like they're tanky. They're not really all that tanky against Banes. So, Reynor cleans that up with a bunch of Lingbane. Again, it's a little bit late. 7:30 without any siege tanks and just a couple of Hellbats is not exactly a super strong push. But going for the double prong scenario is pretty good too. I mean, this is something that Maru does all the time in TVZ, is attack north, attack south, while expanding, keep the Zerg player worried about where the next attack is coming from, force the Zerg player to split his army adequately to handle each side of the attack, and make them worry about anything other than countering you, other than rolling Banelings into this mineral line, right? That's what Clem wants to avoid here. Wow, I love this too. Spores up. He's worried about drops happening up that direction. I love that he's investing in static defense. Yeah, so I mean, he's just playing this safely while also being as macro-oriented as he can possibly be here. He's at 150 supply at 8 minutes. He's got 86 workers. I mean, that's the thing. Reynor can play this thing in a way where he has a pretty decent army and he has a fantastic economy too. It's like, for me, at 8 minutes, I can have 86 workers and 4 bases, but I am also not going to have 8 Hydralisks and 12 Banelings and 50 Zerglings, right? This is why Reynor is Reynor, and Rogue is Rogue, and Serral, and Dark is Dark. I mean, Clem's the same way. He's at 66 workers. Are you on 3 bases and 66 workers and a 92 army supply, Terran players? Probably not. You're probably not hitting those marks. Something to aim for, though, right? Reynor, oh, I thought that was an expansion for a second. I was like, wow, that is an aggressive expansion top right here, but no. Doesn't happen. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you're enjoying this stuff. Just a reminder for you that way. Again, if you don't want to support me through Patreon, which I have heard some complaints about Patreon from people for reasons ideologically usually, but that's a pickup and a boost out for sure. Those Hydras are very, very dangerous. Lurker Den's on the way, so it is Hydra Lingbane for now. But if you want to click the join button down below, you can do that. Become a member of the channel directly through YouTube and support me that way for just a couple bucks a month. There's different tiers there, but it just starts at like $2 a month. So yeah, feel free to check that out too. Slings, Banes, Hydras, crashing on in. This is a bit of a musical cast, isn't it? Oh man, take down this tank. As always a Zerg player, you come back in to finish off something you thought was dead. It's always annoying. All right, Clem, nicely done. Banelings are not getting connections here at all. That's a lot of Banes, though. So those Banes are going to get connections. Tries to pull them back so they don't fire on the tank, which, again, that's a bad target for Banelings to hit because tanks are not light units. And army value 90 to 95. So Clem's staying alive, but your goal here needs to be pressuring. You need to make sure that Reynor's losing bases. He's losing drones. He doesn't want to be on the other side of the map because he can't hold it. But, you know, Reynor's doing the pushing. Clem's trying to do it, not really accomplishing all that much. Ba-doop. 12 o'clock from Reynor, looking quite happy and quite nice. 4th base from Clem. Planetary Fortress up. Seismic Spines on the way from Reynor for his lurkers. And this is great. This is what we like to see. Reynor's showing up, killing some drones. 5 drones die. And then he just picks up, boosts out with what he can. Leaves that Marine to die. There was definitely room in the medevac for that guy. Come on. Come on. Is there anything in the main base to defend against this? He's probably assuming there was, but I think he could have unloaded. I guess the spores are a problem. Yeah, so he sees the spores. Oh, then he just jukes back in. Love that play. Love the juke back in play. Drone down. 3 drones down. Ah, and then everybody dies. So Reynor shows up with the Hydras. That's going to be the big deal here. Stuff that shoots up against Marine Marauder Medevac. Good. Who knew? Ghost Academy on the way. Got ourselves Liberators 2. +3/+3s on the way for the Marines, Marauders, and Ghosts. +3 Ground Carapace on the way from Reynor, getting Adaptive Talons, getting Burrow. Interesting. Seismic Spines already done. Haven't really seen Lurkers in play at all. Yeah, that 3/3 is a good upgrade to have if you're a Terran player. Both players maxed out. Reynor has a bit of a bigger bank, but he kind of needs it if he's going to win this game. Lurkers burrow down. Seismic Spines go burr. They definitely go burr, but also Banelings go burr. They just roll into this 3rd base. Banelings on siege tanks. Okay, that's better than them hitting on your SCVs, but also your SCVs are getting killed by Lurker Spines and stuff. Beautiful abduct on that tank. Pulls it into Lurker range, kills it. Clem on the other side is suddenly moderately very unopposed. So Clem's 3rd base is in shambles, but also Reynor's 5th base, 12 o'clock, gonna die. Okay, and again, the command center, the orbital's not dead because it can lift off. 12 drones die. How many SCVs have died? 10. 10 have died. So economically, Reynor looking incredible in all fairness, but Clem getting some hits on that economy. Abducting medevacs to their doom. Lurker, pow. Pachow, pachow, pachow. And, oh no, Clem's going to lose his 5th base on the right side. Yep, this is why you have the Hydralisks. You can shoot stuff when it is in the sky. Command Center, pretty good target too. Using some snipe on Hydralisks, not a bad idea, but better target's going to be Lurkers. You can get some snipes off on those guys, or just regular Marauder attacks. This Lurker left behind to cover the retreat. Reynor's, I mean, his economy is insane right now. He's got 85 total workers. He's reestablishing the 12 o'clock. He's on 6 bases where Clem is really struggling to hold 4 right now. And did try to have a 5th up, but not able to do that. Army was in nowhere near position to handle it. Adrenal Glance is on the way. +3 vehicle weapons coming in too. That's pretty good. These siege tanks with +3 are very scary, but the abducts today from Reynor. You don't see this many abducts in ZVT these days, but Reynor says, aha, from me you shall. Banelings trying to crash on in here, trying to see what they can do. But pretty good defense there from Clem. Pushing out. These creep tumors this close to home have got to feel bad. Do you want to use scans or do you want mules? The eternal question for Terran. What do you want? Creep spread, murdering down, murdering down. Clem taking a new 5th base. 6 o'clock position here. Loving that. Reynor taking a 7th top right, though. He is expanding here. So cheeky. I knew he would. Creep spread receding because creep tumors are dying all over the place. This Zergling says, this defended? Yes. Absolutely it is. Look at this creep, though. Look at this creep. Ooh, double Nidus coming in here, too, from Reynor. He's going to try to break Clem with some of that Nidus shenaniganry. Yeah, and he's, I mean, honestly, he's the one that started the trend. Lurkers came out, and everybody was like, well, they're good against Protoss and stuff, and they were really good against Terran during the beta of Legacy of the Void, and then, I don't know, they kind of fell off for a couple years. Nobody really used them against Terran at all, and then Reynor was like, you know what's good against Terran is Lurkers, and he started using them, with the Nidus especially. It was like a Lurker Nidus strategy that he was using. He was throwing up Niduses behind mineral lines, he was getting Lurkers in behind mineral lines too. Right? This is why you leave a siege tank inside your main, is for this reason. Oh man, the abducts though! Reynor! The abducts are so good. I don't know. Clem doesn't really have a bank here. It's harder for him to replace stuff compared to Reynor. Is he really not? Oh man, he's Nidusing right on top of the siege tank, but it's not gonna work. Meanwhile, Lurkers burrowing in, harassing the fourth base of Reynor's, but Siege Tank says, get out. This Nidus does die. Clem's staying alive, but I don't know if staying alive is enough in this situation, you know? You can be staying alive. Oh, 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 staying alive. Lurkers taking down Siege Tanks. This creep spread today, I mean, this is Scarlet, Serral level Reynor's doing here. Again, he's a world champion, so it's hard for me to be like, this is better than it usually is. But I feel like it's better than it usually is. I don't know, just Clem's not doing as good a job clearing it or what, but Blinding Cloud up on that siege tank. One siege tank doesn't seem like it's enough to handle this, and it's dead anyway. The planetary is trying to hold. These Marines need to clear this, and then they can jump on down and try to save the planetary, but it is dead. Adrenal gland links everywhere. 17 SCVs dying. Banelings off, creep engaging. That's how you know Reynor's feeling good about himself, is when that happens. Okay, Queen's getting sniped. Ugh, snipe doesn't one-shot them, but it makes them very vulnerable to this. The transfuse is trying to keep it alive. No, the transfusing Queen dies too. Okay, creep gets cleared a little bit in this area. New orbitals set up here at the 5th base. Or 4th base, rather. And actually, Clem expanding bottom left here, which is pretty gutsy of him. He's not upgrading that to a planetary, and I fear for its future as a result. So, all right. Once again, bank is a difference here. Reynor's got 3,000 minerals and 1,000 gas in the bank. Clem's got 500 minerals and 200 gas, which is just not ideal here. The thing is, Zerg's going to lose more stuff, so they need more money to replenish their dead things. But that said, double-pronged attack here from Reynor. South side, north side. This planetary is going to stay alive. And, okay, this orbital lives too. Okay. It does not live, actually. No, the siege tanks are all dying. The abducts are too good. Man. If you're a lower level Zerg player and you're like, how do I beat Terran? They're so strong. Abducts, man. Spellcasting in general. Blinding Cloud on siege tanks, abducting on siege tanks, abducting on medevacs. Really, really, really strong stuff. And if you're Terran struggling against Zerg, siege tanks are good. Ghosts are amazing. Spellcasting in general is just a key to winning StarCraft 2 and StarCraft 1. Which, I don't know how many of you guys are watching my Brood War cast as well. I think the overlap is pretty small, but yeah, I mean, what sets the professionals and the elite players apart from the yous and the me's is this elite level spell casting. And Fester's coming in from Reynor, right? He knows what's up. Nice burrowing, preventing Clem from re-expanding to this bottom left corner, which is a cheeky place to... Oh, both players cheekily tried to expand to places here. They're both 18. They're both cheeky. Here comes another attack. Up the ramp, off creep. Lurkers burrowing in. I don't know. I think Reynor... Clem has enough to clean this up. It's going to take some tough positioning from him. But snipes on these Lurkers need to be super good. It's not enough. GG. Reynor's the winner. I got to back this up real quick. I got to see. I thought he had enough. He's down 130 supply, though. Blech. Dude, lurkers in this position are so hard to get rid of, but I thought for a minute there, how many ghosts does he have? He's got a lot of ghosts here, actually. And we're watching him die to lurker spines, lurker count. Wait, hold on. Did they all die? Where my ghosts are at. Here you are, ghosts. Looking good, ghosts. Okay, one goes down. Let's slow this down a little bit. Hard to see what's happening sometimes in all of this chaos. Ghost down, and he GG's out. He still has like 7 ghosts left. How many lurkers were there? I don't think I've done this in a while. We're doing some serious like end of game analysis right here. Okay, so 7 ghosts remaining. Siege tanks are firing, taking lurker spines though, so that's bad. Okay, that's when he GG's out. So there's 4 lurkers up here. Let's go 3 kills, 3 kills, 4 kills, 3 kills. I don't know. Is it economically? It's 87 to 57 workers. You can't really defend this base at all. This base is super vulnerable too. Oh, there's Lings running free inside his main. Army value is 90 to 49. Yeah, so it's a 2-to-1 army value difference, which is really super hard to come back from. And look at Reynor. He's just casually at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total bases. Yeah, 8 total bases is super, super hard to deal with. Production tab is 4 Marines and a couple tanks from Clem. 62 Lings on the way from Reynor, and he still has a 3,000, 1,000 bank. So, yeah, it's a little questionable in the GG timing, but, you know, Clem, he understood where he was. It's like, let's go ahead and get out of here and get into the next game and try to win that one instead of spending a lot of energy and effort on this one. So, fair. Fair enough, youngin'. End of the day, resources lost, a full 41,000, goodness, for Reynor, 32,000 for Clem, which is generally kind of enough to win the game, but the problem here is that Reynor just mined way more resources and had more bases and could afford to absorb those losses and still be fine. Did lose 22 drones and a hatchery, so I mean, Clem did a little bit of damage, but not enough. Reynor, or rather, Clem lost 48 SCVs, a planetary, and 2 command centers, and was probably going to lose another one there too. So, yeah, well done from Reynor. Just handled the early shenanigans, right? Just amazing. Amazing, amazing stuff there from Reynor today. Whew, and that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Twitter, and well, check out Discord as well. And until next time, as always, stay safe and healthy, and above all, you take care of yourself.